Sometimes real life is better than fiction. SF-Gate reports that a massive brawl broke out between up to 20 family members during a funeral for an elderly woman in Richmond, California, leading to 1 injury, 1 arrest, and $20,000 in damage. The Richmond Police Department said it was an instance of family drama that started between a brother and a sister who were attending their mother's funeral and who do not get along. The brother and sister were talking and got into an argument when her boyfriend came over and encouraged her to walk away, said Police Sergeant Aaron Pomeroy. The brother reportedly attacked the boyfriend, and from there it escalated into a brawl. At some point, the brother even got into a vehicle with the intention of driving over his sister, Pomeroy said. Instead, the brother struck another female and sent her to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. In the car, the brother also damaged the grass, knocked over and damaged headstones and vases, and broke a water main that ejected copious amounts of water and flooded the funeral plot, said a spokesman for the department. The driver also reportedly knocked over the casket, but fortunately, the body didn't fall out. The brother, a 36-year-old from Bay Point, California, was arrested for felony assault with a deadly weapon and vandalism.
Where do these people find the time? The Tampa Bay Times reports that a woman from St. Petersburg, Florida, was arrested on a charge of making harassing phone calls after calling police more than 11,000 times over the first 6 months of the year. In her arrest warrant, police said 50-year-old Carla Jefferson continuously calls and harasses, belittles, swears at, argues with, and demands officers come arrest her. At one point, she called the St. Petersburg Police Emergency Communication Center 512 times in the span of 24 hours, police said. At the time, Jefferson was out on bail after previously being arrested after police said she made excessive calls to the agency's non-emergency line. In the earlier arrest affidavit, police said she accounted for 10% of the call volume to the non-emergency line that year so far, using extreme expletives, sexual innuendo, and belittling remarks in her calls. St. Petersburg Police spokesperson Yolanda Fernandez said the agency tried several tactics to get Jefferson to stop before deciding to arrest her. Initially, they dispatched their mental health team to try to help her, but that didn't stop the calls. So they tried verbal warnings, and then sending officers to Jefferson's home. At one point, Fernandez said Jefferson made more than 1,000 calls in a 24-hour period, more than half the calls the agency received that day. According to the Smoking Gun, police say Jefferson admitted that she loves playing this game. Well, that game got her a high score in the county jail, so maybe she needs a new game. How about Wordle? Everybody loves Wordle. Ooh, you know what today's 5-letter word is? Crime.
Somebody didn't do their due diligence on this one. The Boston Globe reports that the former IT director with the police department in Newton, Massachusetts, shut down the police website during a pay dispute with the city. Mayor Ruth Ann Fuller said the former city employee named Stephen Smith took down the department's website, and in its place he put a message telling people to contact Fuller in order to restore the site. The pay dispute began shortly after Smith notified Newton officials that he would be leaving for a new position. At the time of the shutdown, Smith had been wrangling with the city for weeks over about $137,000 he said he was owed in accrued compensatory time, according to Fuller and city records. After he accepted the new position, according to Fuller and city records, Smith requested the city reimburse him for comp time in lieu of overtime pay from his long tenure. The city declined to reimburse Smith, citing a policy that limits non-union workers to accruing no more than 40 hours total, unless they have written authorization from the mayor's office to do so. Smith argued he received that permission, but the city has no record of Smith receiving it, according to Fuller. It turned out that it was Smith and not the city that owned the domain NewtonPolice.com, which is what the police department used for its website. Smith alone controlled access to the site and had not turned it over to the city, according to Fuller. The city has since created a new police department website, which serves as a key resource for emergencies and routine matters. The NewtonPolice.com website is no longer active. The city's review of the police website has triggered wider questions about police department protocols. Gee, you think? What next? Will officers go on strike and then we'll find out that they own the police cruisers?
Yeah, this one was bound to end badly. Sora News 24 reports that a man from Saitama, Japan, had his Rolex watch stolen after leaving it alone with a potential buyer in order to go buy tea. The two men met in the parking lot of a convenience store to negotiate the sale of an 18-karat yellow gold Rolex Yachtmaster 2. Despite its value, the seller was willing to part with it for just 6.3 million yen, or about $47,000 in a sale arranged through a second-hand online shopping site. After the potential buyer walked up to the seller's car wearing shorts, a t-shirt, and thick gloves, the buyer handed him the luxury timepiece for inspection. After looking at it for a bit, the buyer asked the seller to go into the store to buy some tea. The seller then made the fateful decision to do just that. After taking about 2 minutes to purchase the beverages, the man walked out of the store only to find that the buyer and watch were both long gone. Big shocker, you dumb s***. Still dealing with the crushing reality of what had just happened, the man reported the incident and tried to contact the buyer. However, after texting, "I left it in your car," and "I don't have your watch," the buyer deleted his account. Although the seller seemed in good spirits during interviews, he also admitted, "I was too stupid and honest." Fortunately, he did have the awareness to get the buyer on video with his smartphone, which, along with surveillance cameras outside, should go a long way in helping police track down the suspect. However, if you're going to give a valuable timepiece to a stranger and walk away, you kinda deserve what you get. So how did that tea taste?
If you want to see all our videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, click the subscribe button below. I mean, hey, my cat's gotta eat.